Hey, I'm going to show a fairly simple and quick mobility flow that you can use if you just feel like you need to loosen up the body. So this is going to do a great job hitting most of the major muscle groups in a variety of different positions. So I'm going to show it rather quickly, so that way you don't have to watch a 10-minute video. When you're doing it on your own, feel free to take a couple deep breaths in each position, hang out and pause wherever it feels best for you. And if there's a certain position that doesn't feel great for you, just move along and you can omit it. So we're gonna start, and I'm on a yoga mat. You can do this on a carpet, really wherever. But we're just gonna start on hands and knees. And I'm gonna reach my hands out, rock forward and back. It's just a nice way to kind of get the body going. So do this a few times. And again, spend longer in these positions than I'm doing here. And then I'm gonna rock hips side to side, kind of really trying to stick this out and get a stretch by my back pocket. Come into a couple cat-cows. We're arching and rounding the back, taking some deep breaths. I can kind of do some circles over my wrists to get some weight into the hands. And then I'm gonna walk my hands forward and send my hips back, but not all the way. So I'm really gonna creep my fingers forward, getting a nice stretch through the chest and shoulders. And as I'm reaching my fingers forward, I'm also extending my hips behind me. I'm trying to elongate my spine and shoulders. Taking a few deep breaths here. I'm gonna come up, hands back underneath the shoulders. I'm gonna get one leg out to the side, and I'm gonna rock forward and back here. And so this is getting a nice stretch in the inner thigh or the adductor. Do that both sides. Warming the legs up there. Then I'm gonna tuck my toes and I'm gonna press into a down dog position. I wanna start with the knees bent first and really press through the palms and drop the chest. So I actually feel this in the shoulders and mid and upper back first, really active through the hands, and then I can straighten the legs. I can walk the feet out or just kind of get my heels down a little lower, get a calf stretch, press through, take a few deep breaths here. Then I'm gonna take my left leg up and over to the side, and I get a nice big side body stretch here. And then I'm gonna bring this foot forward, up outside my left hand. I'm gonna keep this back leg knee off the ground. Left hand is gonna reach up, and I'm pressing through on my bottom hand. Thumb is trying to point behind me. And then I'm gonna try to get my elbow to my instep or my arch and up. I'll do that 3 to 5 times. Then I can drop my back knee and I'm gonna rock back into this hamstring. So I'm up on the heel, and then I can come forward, lift the knee into the hip flexor, rocking back there. Then I'm gonna come up into a lunge position here. I can place a hand if I need to, reach my back leg, brace my core, and try to draw my heel to my butt, getting a nice big quad stretch. I'm also working a little balance on this front leg. I'm drawing my shoulder blades back. If you can't reach your leg here, you can just go arms behind the back and kind of sink forward like that. Okay. And then I'm here, I'm gonna drop my hands to the ground. This is probably the trickiest transition, and I'm gonna come sitting on my side like this. So this knee was up. So basically my right knee is on the ground. I'm gonna come sit on my right hip, scoot this leg out. Now I'm in this called 90-90 position. So both knees are about 90 degrees. I'm gonna lean forward towards my right leg. Sit up, lean back, and gently twist towards my left foot. This second one's called a capsular stretch. Should feel it deep in the hip here. It's okay if your torso is at a little angle. You don't have to be totally vertical. And then lean forward, back into the right hip, back and forth there. Once you're feeling good there, we're gonna bring the feet in front. I'm gonna point my fingers behind me, lift the hips up, and drop my knees forward as I'm squeezing my shoulder blades back and pushing into my palms, getting a nice big shoulder stretch, arms behind me. And then I'm gonna drop the hips,
Come back here, place the hands, and press back into this down dog position. Replace the left leg. Repeat on the right leg. So right leg up, reaching over, bringing this hip forward. Thoracic rotation, elbow to the arch. Drop the back knee, rock in and out of the hamstring and the hip flexor. Coming up into a quad stretch. Coming down, my back would normally be facing the camera because I'm going to come down on this hip and then turn, but I'll just turn that, show you on this side. So I got my left leg 90 degrees, so I'm opposite of where I was. Getting stretch in this hip, chest nice and tall, so I'm not collapsed. Chest nice and tall. Coming out deep into this hip. This is kind of a more, sometimes a vulnerable stretch for people, so you don't have to get a big stretch. But I can play here a couple times. And I'm going to place my feet. So another option here, I can come up and rock back and forth just like I did in round one, or I get my arms behind my back, squeeze my shoulder blades back. I'm going to do that when I'm laying down, so my hands are underneath my back, squeezing shoulder blades back, and gently try and lower. So I'm using my hips to press my palms to the ground. Some of you might not be tight here, but if you are, you'll feel a nice stretch through here. But I'm squeezing shoulder blades into the ground, gently lowering the hips and back up. And then you can sit up here. If you want to have a nice wide forward fold, I like to have a little bend in the knees. And then I'll place the hands, press back to a down dog, come back to the knees, rock back and forth, and I'm done. Feel free to add anything else that you would like.